Hi guys, this is Cobra Tom,
And Venom Lily.
and we are doing the Razorback and the Wild Boar today for the Iron Grenadier theme month. This is my personal new favorite Iron Grenadier toy. We got this at Joe Fest, so we kind of had to piece it together a little bit, but we will be doing the review of the vehicle and the figure today. So this is the Razorback and its driver, the Wild Boar. The Wild Boar is a normal 3 3/4 inch figure, but as you can see, this is a very, very large vehicle. We can't even fit everything into the frame. It is so big. So there we go. We'll pick it up. So first, I will talk about the figure. Then, Venom Lily will help me do the vehicle. This is the Wild Boar file card, codename Wild Boar, Razorback driver. The Razorback is the principal frontline assault vehicle for the Iron Grenadiers. Its impressive firepower, capabilities, can totally destroy an enemy vehicle within minutes. Only the creme de la creme of the Iron Grenadiers can be admitted into the Razorback driver program. All recruits must endure a torturous training schedule that stresses discipline, and more discipline. Those who survive receive the respect of being a Razorback driver, and many shares of stock in Destro's lucrative profit-sharing company. Iron Grenadiers forces, though numerically inferior to Cobra, are better trained, better equipped, and enjoy benefits of better qualified leadership. The Wild Boars are formidable opponents on the battlefield because they embody the most fearsome of attributes, the will to succeed. Here we have the Wild Boar, the driver of the vehicle. And as you can see, he has a very similar color scheme to the Iron Grenadier soldier. Red, black, and gold. Now, his is a bit less red, and his is obviously more. So they're kind of swapped. There's a little more red than black. But you could tell that they're kind of from the same part, and they have the same color scheme. And the figure, while obviously they're two totally different things, you can believe that each one has kind of a different specialty and is from the same army. Now, the Wild Boar itself has quite a lot of nice details, has two interesting accessories. He doesn't come with any weapons, but he does come with a hose and a helmet. And on this helmet, it's got kind of a plated look. Kind of gives kind of a nice detail, like he's wearing an armored helmet to protect him when he's under attack in his vehicle, being attacked by, I suppose, like tank shells and things like that out on the battlefield. It would probably give him a nice protection. Now, there is I wouldn't say like a lot of debate, but there is some questioning as to why the peg for the hose, this is just a standard hose on lots of figures and vehicles, why the peg is on the left arm with no paint details, when his right arm has the paint detail. Now, I know it's not a huge deal, but it is kind of a question that I've heard people ask. And what does it do? Because it goes to the helmet. Now, I think if you put the helmet all the way down, see, it's kind of got a bill here, kind of like a baseball cap bill, but it's down. So I'm wondering if you kind of pretend that it's over his eyes and he can have like night vision or some type of thing that helps him react faster. I'm not really sure. It's up to your imagination, I suppose. I think while he's driving, when it's up like this, he can see like normally. But when you put it down as far as you can, and it doesn't cover his eyes like that much. So I don't know if it's really meant to be like that. But I pretend that it's some kind of thing while he's driving helps him see better and react better. Now I'm going to just take this off. Now on many figures that I've seen, both the peg on the arm and the peg on the helmet seem to be quite sturdy. So I haven't seen any of these broken. So I don't know. I haven't seen any broken. I don't know if many people are even having trouble with that. It's just something to be careful for. If you're out to get one of these and you think maybe you want to buy one, it is at least something to think about. I don't think there's too many problems if you buy this figure, vehicle, or just one or the other by itself. I don't think that the figure itself has too many problems. Now I'm going to show the figure the best that I can here. I'm going to kind of turn the light. Now, he has some very nice gold glasses or goggles. A nice paint, black paint with some... That'll be really hard to see, but on the back of his head, he does have like kind of some straps where I think that you can kind of see here, if you can see that, where the goggles, he put the goggles kind of over his face and the strap goes all the way around, which I do think is nice. I think that that's kind of a nice detail that didn't really have to be in there, but kind of gives it kind of a realistic thing that he is wearing something over his hood. And then he's got some very nice padding on the arms here. I hope you guys are able to see that. He's got some nice red pads here. Some, not very much, but a little bit of detail on the arms. Or on the hands, I'm sorry. Well, still arms, I suppose, but on the hands does have some detail. On this one, it is duplicated. He has the shoulder pad and then the hand detail. But in this case, this is painted. So you can kind of see that he's wearing gloves. That looks pretty good. I like that. Mine, you have to see it just right, and it's a bit difficult with lighting to see that. I'm trying to get it just right. Hope you guys are able to see this. I had it I hope you guys can see that. Yeah, let's see. But mine here, I'm going to set the figure down and I'm going to maybe try to rearrange this. There, you can kind of see it. It's got a very nicely painted Destro head and dagger. It looks really nice. I know it's extremely difficult to see. I think you can maybe see it there. And it's a very nicely painted gold. I think if it maybe would have been red, it would have shown a little bit better. But, well, it is what it is. I do like the strapping. He's got nice straps that come around. And he's got some nice strapping here. Makes you kind of think that when he's inside, he's all strapped up and better. These straps do go all the way to the back. It is, I know, unfortunate that it's all done in this black plastic because it makes it very hard to see. But it's all tied together with this, let me see if I can, with this cool O-ring design here, which is matched on his belt, which I suppose if you have it like this, that all the strapping kind of comes around his suit. Here's he's wearing like a red suit, an all red like jumpsuit. And then all the strapping kind of goes around his waist here and over his body and over his suit, which I would assume is perhaps bulletproof or kind of a padded thing for when he's driving on maybe rough terrain, that if you're bouncing around, the terrain won't hurt him so badly. And he's got some very nice padding on his legs, which is similar, not the same, but similar to the ridged padding on the top here. It's kind of got the lines. And it's on this other leg. And he's got some really nice, fairly tall, almost knee-high black boots, which is really nice. There's a bit of detail on the boots too, you can kind of see. It's all strapped up. Hope you guys are able to see it. It's very difficult. I apologize with the lighting. We are thinking about buying a new light. And getting the figure is kind of this all either one or the other kind of color. Makes it really hard to pick out details when it's all black or all red. But it's a really nice figure. It's a very sturdy figure. I've not seen any problems. I've looked many times to get other figures like this. I only got the one, but I'm thinking about buying more. And I haven't seen any problems, so this should be a fairly sturdy and fairly inexpensive. I don't want to say cheap. Cheap makes it kind of sound bad, but he is a fairly inexpensive figure. Now we're going to be doing the Razorback, which we do have the paperwork, which I will be actually kind of going over, and Venom Lily will be talking a little bit about them. So there you go. Kind of got a nice little printout here of what you got. Number 1, extended front end with ultra-sensitive radar guidance. So this is the bumper. I'm going to show the bumper here. And we're going to lift this up just a tiny bit so that you can see. And we've noticed a very weird thing. Lots of these things seem to not have the bumper. And I can't figure out why. Lots of these do not, because it does have one clip here. It clicks in here and a third clip here. And many of them that I've seen are all gone. Why don't you talk about the inside a little bit here?
Well, the inside has the control panel type thing here, and there's seat belts here instead of a steering wheel and stuff like that.
Yeah. Why don't you put a figure in there? I'll give you another one here. And it said that you're supposed to open up the thing like this to open up the figures, but to open up the glass to put the figures in, but you don't really need to do that. I don't put the seatbelts in because they're kind of hard and kind of a pain in the rear, but here's what it looks like with the figures in. And that looks nice. Number 2 is pivoting quad traction all-terrain track treads. And what you can do with them is you can move them in many different directions. Yeah. And you can even do that with the front ones. I don't know what the advantages of that. I suppose terrain, maybe. When you're driving around, it kind of can go over rocks, I suppose, or things. I'm not really sure. Number 3 here on the list is 9-inch steel titanium plated armamented covers. So this is made out of like a special kind of glass and steel alloy, I guess, which is pretty cool. I like that. Here on this thing is high resolution image intensifying personal ID system. So it can pick out, this is kind of like a radar, and it picks out objects for the guy to shoot. The guns here, number 6 is a 205 millimeter dual pulsating anti-armor, anti-personnel cannon. Here is the QVX-902 short blast surface-to-surface strike missiles.
On the top, there's like these rings things. I don't know why they have rings. And then there's like holes in the side fins.
Yeah.
I don't pull it out. There's also down here, but there's no holes on the side things, I don't think.
Nope. And they're on a universal peg.
There it is. There we go.
There we go. Oh, there we go. There's the universal peg. And
Don't we just call them a dumbbell thing?
dumbbell, yes. Universal dumbbell missile peg. And these are actually pretty good. Some gold plastic stuff tends to wear out. Now, we haven't played with this much due to, well, we haven't had it that long. And
It stays under a table.
it stays under our table, so we've been kind of busy as of late. So the missiles seem pretty good. I haven't seen too many troubles with it. And the nice thing about this is you can get 360. Now, you'd never shoot missiles down like that unless you were up higher shooting down, but you can get a 360 range with these missiles. And there's 8 in total. Really nice detailed. Everything's good on these really cool, nice missiles. Number 9 is the 360 pivoting all direction shatter resistant dome. Now, this dome does have a chair in it, but I took the chair out. Yep, there you go. Because I want to show the details of the chair in a minute and how you would put it in.
And sometimes it falls out.
And it oftentimes falls out. We bought this at Joe Fest.
It's not their fault. It was in a bin that it was like cheap, and we had to find all the parts, which we did find most of the parts, but yeah.
The only part I had to buy on eBay is the bumper and the antenna. But we got everything else. All the missiles, all of that stuff in a big box, but we had to pick through them. It took a lot of time. But
I went off to a different store.
Yeah.
Area.
And I looked all around and I pieced together this vehicle for probably about $10, so no complaints there. Number 11 is the low noise engine modulator with anti-infrared nullifier. So there's the nice engine. This is nice engine detail. Somehow that nullifies something. I don't really understand, but that's what it says.
Oh, wait. Hi.
Yes, it is talking to us. It's kind of scary. This is number 12, the silicon ventilation with smokeless, odorless exhaust system. And that has some very nice details. Very nice.
And very dirty.
And very dirty. Ours is a tiny bit dirty. And here is number 13. High-powered antenna for long-range transmission reception capability. There you go. It's got a nice antenna on there. It's got a nice
Looks like
thing.
a gas pump.
It does kind of look like a gas pump, actually, now that you say that. And it does go in.
But it has to be this way for it to be a gas pump.
That's true. And that is a very weird way to plug it in because it's... I have seen many of these, and every single one that I've ever seen is always bent like that. And I don't know why.
Maybe it gets better service, Dad.
Maybe. Here is the usually unseen gun chair. Now, I'm going to remove Big Boa here and show you the very nicely detailed seat. And Big Boa goes in here because he's my favorite character of any G.I. Joe and Cobra figure. When I say G.I. Joe, I sometimes confuse people. When I say G.I. Joe, I mean in broad terms. This is my favorite figure in the G.I. Joe line. And he gets to be in the big chair. And as you can see, it's got some really nice handles for firing, I'm assuming. And some details for... This maybe be the firing controls. And this controls the chair going up and down. That could be. And then it's got some really nice control details here.
And he fits in there pretty well.
And Big Boa fits in. Yes, she's completely right. Big Boa fits in here very well. And another reason I picked Big Boa, other than he is my favorite character, I mean, he is my favorite character, but he also gets picked because of his really cool helmet. And I'm thinking that if you're in a bubble that's made out of glass, you probably want something to protect your melon from being shot. And with his strapping, it does give a sort of the illusion that he's strapped into the chair. So what you do to get the chair in there is flip up this, and then you can see that here are clips in here, and there's clips on the bottom of the chair, and you, if it falls out, that technically is still my fault, but ours is really, really loose. This is what happens when you hodgepodge a vehicle. See, ours doesn't hold very well. Can you hold the camera while I'm putting that up there so that they can maybe see a little better? Thank you, my dear. Now, here are the pegs. I have trouble with this because my hands shake and I don't always get them in very nicely. Now, yours, if you ever get one, might be better because it might be actually made for the one that it's for.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. See?
I hit my dad with the camera, by the way.
It's okay. And there we go. That was a lot of work for that. But now that he's in there, he actually will, unlike other certain vehicles, the figure moves as the gun moves. Unlike, unfortunately, our bug has a dome like this that shoots. But the gun and the dome is separate from the vehicle, so when you spin it around, the guy doesn't move at all. And this time he does. So now ours is, of course, kind of beat up, so the glass is not as clean as it should be, and the dome is kind of scratched up. But that gives it a little bit of character and gives it a little bit of interest, I suppose. Makes it look like it's actually been on duty. Now, here you can see, oh, I might need you to hold that, please. There are 4 foot pegs on this vehicle. And I'm picking not, well, this is a custom, but not so random figures here.
There are still vintage legs, so.
Yes, vintage figures will only work with these foot pegs. Modern figures will not. And as you can see, loaded up with all of its positions that you could possibly do, you could fit 7 figures. Let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a nice vehicle, makes for a great display. I love the angles and the sweeping feel of it and the whole just look of it. She did ask, oh, and I forgot about this. This has an upgrading down, and it does have a click on the bottom and on the top. See, it clicks into place. It'll stay. Spin around real nicely. It can come out. It wouldn't hurt if it comes out, but it's not really technically meant to. And can go all the way down.
And don't lose it.
And don't lose it. And she was asking, and I do agree with what she was saying. She asked if this was glass or if this was supposed to be steel. And I think technically just so that you can see the figures,
it's plastic, but like if it was a real thing, it would probably be like steel or glass.
that would be my thinking, that it would be like actually metal and it would cover up, because it says like steel titanium cover. And so this part would actually be made out of steel and would just be like the rest of the vehicle. But because you want to see the figures and want to be able to play with them and interact with them, I think that that's why this is glass. The dome part, though, that I think would be normally made out of glass, because you need your gunner to be able to see in any direction as he's turning. But this part, I think, would technically be made out of steel, like the rest of the vehicle. Well, thank you for watching. This is the Razorback and Wild Boar review. This was fun for me. This is my favorite vehicle that we have. Maybe not favorite of all, but probably our favorite one that we got this year, especially our favorite one from Joe Fest.
Can they check out my channel, which is just the songs?
Yes, Venom Lily has put up a new channel for her music, and she put up some very nice music.
Yeah, can you pull up my channel real quick?
And we will put that in the descriptions, and in this part we will put it right on the bottom of the screen so that you will be able to see the name of her channel, so you can check that out. Well, thank you for watching, and we will see you
next time.
Bye.
This was performed by Professional Toys.